court. We've got his custody till the 28th of this month. While he was CEO for those many years, reportedly there were quite a few allegations about manipulation of viewership data as well as TRP. However, again, reportedly, those allegations made by different corners, including some of the whistleblowers, were suppressed. However, after the new dispensation took over, a third-party audit, a forensic audit of data was organized, and that third-party audit submitted its report in July 2020, this year. In our exchange of information with the BARC regarding different subjects, we've got this report as solicited by us from BARC. There are quite a few revelations in the report which we would just like to present. As per the report, these manipulations have been going on at least since 2016 to 2019. They've analyzed quite a few data, but the data being very huge, they analyzed a data of around 44 weeks in detail, especially about the genre of English news and Telugu news, where they found manipulation to a great extent. That data of 44 weeks, beginning mid of 2017, mentions how the viewership and TRP data was manipulated by using three of their methodologies, in which two channels, especially as per the report, two channels are mentioned. How Times Now, which was probably on number one position in the genre of English news then, was thrown on number two position due to manipulation of data, and Republic TV was put on number one. There are quite a few evidences which are enumerated in the report. So as per the report only, I am stating all these things. The report also states that this manipulation continued since 2016 to almost like 2019. The report says in some of the cases, the ratings appeared to be pre-decided. The ratings appeared to be pre-decided. किसको क्या करना है, क्या नहीं करना है, and then accordingly the data was manipulated. The report also points towards the cartelization of some of the top officials, some of the top ex-officials of BARC. So normally it also mentions that there are three methodologies by which the data is screened and then analyzed. So one of the methods they've just mentioned, I'll just mention them. One of them is the outlier method. Some of the other one is the meta rule, changes in the meta rule method, and third is the channel audience control. That's how the data was selectively chosen, analyzed, and thrown to showcase a particular TRP rating of a particular channel. The report also mentions quite a few emails and chats between the top officials which point towards all these kind of manipulations which are absolutely incriminating. Without naming the officials, a few excerpts of this chat just so that you can understand the gravity of the manipulation. One of the excerpt is, please find below numbers on English news. One person is writing to the other. Please find below numbers on English news. As required, Times Now numbers were changed while Republic is kept the same. Another excerpt is like, please find below update on English news channel for week so and so. Times Now, CNN News 18 will be changed. The impressions of Times Now had been decreased drastically across the universe. The impressions of Republic TV remained unchanged. Another excerpt in the email is depicting how the meta rules were changed or misused. Somebody is writing to somebody to do something. The response is like, don't think we should edit the statements. We can manage by changing the logic. So there are quite a few informal talks also, but since they were informal, we have not brought on record. There is also a mention of this manipulation being done for certain general entertainment channels also. That portion is also that portion is also being investigated. So, in short, whatever our investigations were, so we started our investigation by registering the FIR on the 6th of October. So, 6th of October onwards, we've made some investigations and collected different evidences. This report, which came in July 2020, it vindicates what our investigation we did in the later part without actually having any knowledge of this report. There are quite a few evidences that we've collected, and based on them only we've taken whatever actions we had to take. Names of certain persons arrested recently were figuring right from day one, but we actually waited for evidences to be collected, and once we had sufficient evidences with us, then only we went in for this arrest. We've already filed our first charge sheet based on whatever evidences we had collected. The first basic FIR was about manipulation of certain households, some social engineering that took place in certain households, some fixing of some households to watch certain television channels so that the TRP can be increased. Then the second thing that came was the dual frequency, the triple frequency on which the channel was aired. And now it is discovered that not only the data that was coming in from the households and the dual and triple frequencies, but whatever data was coming in, that was also manipulated at the head office level. So which data is to be fed for analysis and which data is to be eliminated, all those things is also like manipulated. So all these things would come in our evidence collection as the investigation progresses. But I can assure you that we have got very strong evidences with us, which are pointing fingers towards some of these officials. And as the investigation progresses, we'll be taking strong action on these incriminating persons. In all this, we must sincerely thank the present dispensation of BARC, who have been really very helpful in providing all the data required for investigation, and we sincerely express our thanks to them. Yep.
Sir, wanted to know, are you saying that specifically numbers of the channels have changed? Like you said that times now numbers have changed. So are you saying that time now was deliberately made number two?
As per the report, yes.
And does it say that who were these people who were involved? Anyone from the competing channels or anyone that you are currently investigating?
That normally the beneficiary of all this manipulation has to explain. What we have gathered till date is very clear in pointing fingers at the concerned persons. नमस्ते. क्राइम ब्रांच मुंबई ने 6 अक्टूबर से एक केस रजिस्टर किया था टीआरपी मैनिपुलेशन के सिलसिले में. उसी का प्रोग्रेस बताने के लिए ये आज का प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस है. कल हमने एक अहम व्यक्ति को अरेस्ट किया है, मिस्टर पार्थो दास गुप्ता, जो कि एक्स सीईओ रह चुके हैं बीआरसी के 2013 से 2019 तक. उनके सीईओ रहते समय ऐसे कहा जाता है कि काफ़ी लोगों के एलिगेशंस थे, विसल ब्लोअर्स के एलिगेशंस थे कि वहाँ पर व्यूवरशिप का डेटा मैनिपुलेट हो रहा है, टीआरपी का डेटा मैनिपुलेट हो रहा है. हालांकि जैसे बताते हैं लोग कि वो जो एलिगेशंस थे उसको सप्रेस किया गया, लेकिन जब ये चेंज ऑफ चेयर हुआ तो एक थर्ड पार्टी ऑडिट किया गया, जिसमें ये पूरा फॉरेंसिक डेटा का पूरा फॉरेंसिक किया गया, और उसने जुलाई 2020 में एक रिपोर्ट पेश की बीआरसी को ही, जो काफ़ी रिवीलिंग है. हमारा जो इंफॉर्मेशन हम मांगते रहते हैं बीआरसी से, उसमें हमको ये रिपोर्ट अभी रिसेंटली प्राप्त हुई है, और ये रिपोर्ट का जो कंटेंट है वो काफ़ी इंक्रिमिनेटिंग है. कुछ पोर्शंस उसमें का, उसमें बेसिकली यही बताया गया है कि 2016 से 2019 तक का डेटा ये मैनिपुलेट किया गया हुआ है. जब तक एविडेंस प्राप्त नहीं होता तब तक किसी को हाथ नहीं लगाया था. जब सफिशिएंट एविडेंसेस मुंबई क्राइम ब्रांच के पास आ गए तभी उनको अरेस्ट की गई है. ये सारी प्रोसेस में हम ज़रूर धन्यवाद कहना चाहेंगे बीआरसी का, जो प्रेजेंट डिस्पेंसेशन है बीआरसी का, जिन्होंने हमको सिंसियरली जो भी डेटा हमको चाहिए था इन्वेस्टिगेशन के लिए वो हमको हमेशा उपलब्ध करके दिया है. थैंक यू.
किया है जो आपके पास ऑलरेडी है, आया हुआ है,
Basically, ये data mining is a very technical job. This technical job BARC ने ये third party audit appoint किया था जिसमें ये सारा report आया है. So they have analyzed all the data because they are privy to all that data. जैसे हम कहते हैं कि 44,000 बैरोमीटर्स लगाए हुए थे, तो 44,000 बैरोमीटर्स का डेटा जो उनके सर्वर रूम में आता था उसका एनालिसिस करके वो सब एनालिटिकल रिपोर्ट ये फॉरेंसिक का रिपोर्ट इसमें पेश किया हुआ है.
सर आपने बोला कि रेटिंग्स अप एंड डाउन होते रहे, रिपोर्टिंग नंबर बना रहा, तो बीआरसी के एक्स ऑफिसर थे उनको मल्टी फंड कम देते, तो फायदा क्या होता था रिसर्च करने से?
या ये अभी इन्वेस्टिगेशन का पार्ट है. दैट विल सर्टेनली इन्वेस्टिगेट बिकॉज अनलेस देर इज़ अ बेनिफिट देर कोई ऐसा करेगा नहीं, बट जो भी कर रहा है वो कुछ ना कुछ बेनिफिट हुए बगैर करेगा भी नहीं. या अभी हमारा जो हमारा पहला चार्जशीट हमने ऑलरेडी फाइल कर चुके हैं, उसमें भी काफ़ी फाइनेंशियल इरेगुलरिटीज़ के एविडेंसेस हमने कोर्ट में सादर किए. त्यांनी 44 वीक्स जे घेतले, 44 वीक्स जो लिए थे वो मिड 2017 से आगे के 44 वीक्स है. बट द रिपोर्ट ऑल्सो सेज कि वो एक सैंपल के तौर पे लिया था, बट अदरवाइज 2016 टू 2019 दे आर सेइंग कि इट इज़ मॅनिपुलेटेड. नाही, किती वेळा नाही सांगता येणार. इट इज ऑल अँड थ्रू इट हॅज बीन मॅनिपुलेटेड. Yeah. Little difficult for me because they are technical things, but outlier is normally whenever statistically when you say एक घर है जिसमें मान लो 12 घंटे अगर टीवी चलता है और एक ही चैनल चलता है, दैट इज सर्टनली दैट डेटा शुड बी एलिमिनेटेड. सो दैट्स एन आउटलायर डेटा. तो ऐसा आउटलायर डेटा आपने एलिमिनेट करना चाहिए व्हेनेवर यू आर फाइंडिंग अ मीडियन ऑफ एनी स्टैटिस्टिकल डेटा. तो दोज थिंग्स शुड बी नो. सो दे वर किसको आउटलायर डिसाइड करना, किसको नहीं करना, मेटा रूल में क्या लॉजिक लगाना, सो दैट ये लॉजिक अगर हम एक सिंपल आई कैन से एनालॉजी कैन बी ऑफ एन आरएफपी. हम जब भी आरएफपी फ्लोट करते हैं तो ये कंपनी क्वालिफाई हो ये ना हो, इसके लिए फिर ये कंडीशन डालते हैं या वो कंडीशन डालते हैं. सो काइंड ऑफ अ मेटा रूल लॉजिक ही चेंज कर देना सो दैट वी गेट द डिजायर्ड रिजल्ट्स. No, the citizen the channel audience control, I am not very clear about. That was the CAC, channel audience control. No, so they have also mentioned a few general entertainment channels also, so that we are investigating into. I guess a few of them put down their papers. बरोबर है ना? After the report, a few of them put down their papers. Resigned, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we were aware of only those two. हाउस. द थर्ड इज द डेटा. डेटा कौन सा डेटा लेना, कौन सा डेटा नहीं लेना, यही अगर मैं डिसाइड कर रहा हूँ तो देन इट इज़ अ वेरी हाई लेवल मैनिपुलेशन. सॉरी कम अगेन. Yeah, which method, that is not very clear which method, but I mean must be a mix of the three methods. No, not yet. Not yet. Yeah, because he was the CEO and probably driving it as per the conversations that are reported in the excerpts what I mentioned. That shows that he was probably the master.
But you don't know yet as to why he was doing it. What was his motivation?
Uh,
Was it financial?
so that connecting the dots is to be done in the investigation. No, that is what the same question basically in a different way. So obvious finger goes to the beneficiary. Whosoever is getting benefited out of the TRP rating change. Yeah, so especially about this, that is under investigation. Yeah. 6 ऑक्टोबर 2020ला मुंबई क्राईम ब्रांचने TRP मॅनिप्युलेशन संदर्भात एक केस रजिस्टर केली होती. त्याच्यामध्ये काल एक इम्पॉर्टंट अरेस्ट करण्यात आली आहे मिस्टर पार्थो दास गुप्ता, जे की CEO होते BARCचे 2013 ते 2019 पर्यंत. आणि असं म्हटलं जातं की त्यांच्या कार्यकाळामध्ये बऱ्याचशा तक्रारी यायच्यात व्ह्युअरशिप मॅनेजमेंट मॅनिप्युलेशन आणि TRP मॅनिप्युलेशन संदर्भात, परंतु त्या तक्रारींचं निवारण कधी होत नव्हतं. परंतु चेअर चेंज झाल्यानंतर एक थर्ड पार्टी ऑडिट BARCने अपॉइंट केलं. ती थर्ड पार्टी ऑडिटनी डेटा फॉरेन्सिक्स संपूर्ण डेटा फॉरेन्सिक केलं त्यांच्या अख्ख्या डेटावर, आणि त्याच्यातून जुलै 2020 मध्ये त्यांचा एक फॉरेन्सिक रिपोर्ट त्यांनी सादर केला, ज्याच्यामध्ये बऱ्याचशा गोष्टी फार रिव्हिलिंग आणि इन्क्रिमिनेटिंग आम्हाला दिसून येत आहेत. त्या रिपोर्टमध्ये आपण जर बघितलं तर त्यांचं असं म्हणणं आहे की 2016 सालापासून 2019 पर्यंत बराचसा डेटा हा मॅनिप्युलेट झालेला आहे. त्याच्यामध्ये त्यांनी डिटेल ॲनालिसिस सॅम्पल म्हणून एक खूप डिटेल विश्लेषण केलेलं आहे. जून 2017 पासून साधारणतः 44 आठवड्यांचं. त्याच्यामध्ये वीक ऑन वीक त्यांचं जे काही ॲनालिसिस असतं त्याच्यामध्ये त्यांना असं निदर्शनास आलं आहे की इस्पेशली त्यांनी इंग्लिश न्यूज जॉनर बद्दल लिहिलेलं आहे की नंबर 1ला पहिले टाइम्स नाव असायचं, आणि ते नंबर 1चं त्यांना कसं नंबर 2 करण्यात आलं, आणि नंबर 1ला रिपब्लिक TVला कसं पुश करण्यात आलं, ह्यासाठी लागणारं जे काही डेटा मॅनिप्युलेशन आहे, तर हे सर्व डेटा मॅनिप्युलेशन कसं करण्यात आलं ह्याच्याबद्दलचा उल्लेख त्या रिपोर्टमध्ये सविस्तररित्या दिलेला आहे. त्याच्यामध्ये असंही त्यांनी सांगितलेलं आहे की काही हा म्हणजे रेटिंग्स कोणाला फिक्स करायचं हे बऱ्यापैकी प्री डिसाइडेड असायचं, आणि याच्यामध्ये काही टॉप ऑफिशियल्स.
All right, these are big breaking inputs here now that is coming in basis of the latest arrest that has been made in the TRP scam, the former BARC CEO Partho Das Gupta, who was arrested, and further investigations that has been carried on by the Mumbai Police here on this. Let's get in further inputs here, a better understanding of what has just been stated by the Mumbai Police here on these developments. We have with us Mirror Now's managing editor Vinay Tiwari here with us. Vinay, these are only further details, but very crucial details now on who benefited from this manipulation and how figures were also by manipulation being reduced for other channels, such as very specifically being mentioned by the Mumbai Police right now that Times Now was shifted, was pushed to the number 2 slot, and Republic was plonked on number 1 basis only this manipulation here.
Yes, and I think what Mumbai Police has said today is as shocking and as serious a matter that it can be, possibly. This is now the first time the police is saying on record, the Joint Commissioner who's investigating the case is saying on record, The Times Network's Times Now channel was pushed down the order, and another channel, Republic, was put at number 1. And the people who stand accused of doing so were at that point of time the heads of the organization. It is similar to the DGP of a state police being accused of committing a crime. It is similar to the additional DGP of a state being accused of committing a crime. Here you have a CEO and a COO, the very people who were custodians of an industry which is worth 40,000 crores, of doing something that is not just wrong, it is criminal, and it is also something that is extremely damaging. It puts the entire process of the way data collection is done in news industry, specifically English genre, which the police mentioned, into a huge doubt. And that is why this is possibly the most damning thing that you could have heard, that here was a systematic attempt being made by Republic to actually reduce somebody's ratings and increase their own in collusion with the head of the organization and the vice head of the organization. So this is as serious a charge as you can imagine that has come from the Mumbai Police side.
Yes. Also, Vinay, with respect to the window of time that we're looking at, with the police specifically saying that this is manipulation which was reported basis investigations, basis also BARC's third-party audit data itself, is specifically pertaining to the period of 2016 up to 2019. Does this effectively mean that the current leadership within BARC right now is has effectively been given a clean chit or is above board, because Mumbai Police continuously repeating on all the help and coordination on this investigation, cooperation in the investigation that they have received from BARC, from the current team?
Yes, so obviously the police have now made it clear that the current team has been cooperating with the investigations, that they've been providing the information and the data that is required for the police to analyze whether criminal conduct was on or not. By that logic, the current team seems to have at least helped the police in doing so, but it certainly brings into question the way in which the BARC was operating for all these years. I mean, this is a very long period of time. And remember, it's not just an issue of revenue, it's cheating the viewer. And there are millions of viewers out there who are believing a particular set of data and taking decisions based on the data, including advertisers and revenue and media planners. And suddenly, you now realize that for a period of several years, this thing was completely manipulated. So the investigations are still on, so we will possibly know if there are more people involved in this or not. But the fact that 15 people have been arrested, which includes the top person as well as the second in command at that point of time, tells you how organized and how deep and how serious this rot was. And this is not just a rot which affects an organization, it affects viewers, because this is a public service where you're reporting information, and the basis on which the reporting is being done, decisions are being taken by many people to trust a particular brand or not. And this kind of an artificial manufacturing of trust and popularity is extremely damaging for any industry, most of all possibly news, which plays a very important role in a democracy.
Vinay, from your understanding on what the police has stated so far, this is effectively putting one channel, allegations against one channel, which is Republic TV, which the police has also said that now the beneficiaries of this rigging, which is effectively Republic TV, should also step out and further explain on how this was happening. But it's also allegations of rigging against 3 news channels. So it is putting only the Republic TV in the dock for having orchestrated all of this rigging.
All that we've heard from the Mumbai Police over the last few weeks or so, it's very clear that the kingpin of this entire operation was obviously Republic. They have, of course, named other channels who were involved in it, but none of them were really leader brands. Here is a channel who was claiming to be a leader brand for such a long time. And if that leader brand turns out to be somebody who was indulging in this kind of an activity, it certainly puts a bigger and a more serious question mark on the whole process. And remember, Republic is not in the dock just for manipulating or at least being accused of manipulating the data. They have also been fined very recently by Ofcom, which is the regulator in the United Kingdom, for content reasons as well. They got fined £20,000 for broadcasting content that was hateful, that was divisive, and that was targeted at maligning a particular community or a religion. And that is, again, something that has been discussed even in India several times in the past. I mean, of course, we don't have a regulator as strong as the Ofcom is in the UK, but certainly it does tell you that there is an edifice of mispropriety that seems to have been practiced at a fairly organized level by the brand and its senior leadership in collusion with the organization and the leadership, which was supposed to be being the watchdog of how viewership patterns should be measured in the industry. So it's a serious investigation, and I'm assuming and hoping that the Mumbai Police will continue to do that diligently and ultimately be able to tie up all the loose ends. Because remember, the Joint CP also mentioned that the calculation of the data is a technical exercise, and it is slightly complicated. So it does require the help of the existing BARC leadership to cooperate with the police and explain to them how measurement is done, how data collection is done, and how the analysis of the data is done forward to arrive at a understandable data point. Sir.
Right. Vinay, please stay on with us. Once again, revisiting the big takeaways here, what has just come in from the Mumbai Police and their ongoing investigations here. This is particularly on how Times Now of the Times network suffered because of this manipulation here, essentially spearheaded, orchestrated by the Republic TV team. Take a listen in.
That data of 44 weeks beginning mid of 2017 mentions how the viewership and TRP data was manipulated by using three of their methodologies, in which two channels, especially as per the report, two channels are mentioned. How Times Now, which was probably on number one position in the genre of English news then, was thrown on number two position due to manipulation of data, and Republic TV was put on number one.